Standing, let's start the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Would you rather present, we vote on?
Yeah.
All right. This is the Mahoning County Commissioners Hearing Room, regular meeting number 37, Thursday, September 15, 2022, 10 a.m. Do we have any public comments at this time? Seeing none, we'll move forward. We have a presentation, but we're going to do that when we get to the resolution, when it's on the agenda. Approval of the previous minutes, board meeting number 36, Thursday, September 8, 2022, and approval of bills for payment. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number one, advertisement for bid sanitary. Pat? Pat?
Sorry, Pat.
No.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I was muted. Item number one is the polymer bid for the Mahoning County Metropolitan Sewer District for our wastewater treatment plants.
Okay, thank you. Advertisement for bids number one. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve advertisement for bids. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number one, journal entries. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve journal entries. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number two, agreements, clerk of courts.
Good morning, everyone. This is a request for an agreement with the Ohio Time Corporation for repair services for our date time stampers on an as-needed basis, an estimated amount of $4,095 for the duration of the contract.
Okay.
General fund dollars.
Thank you. B, engineers. C, engineer.
Commissioners, letter B is an agreement with Hill International for repairs to vehicle number 55 in the estimated amount of $1,599.03 non-general funds. And letter C is an agreement with Hill International for repairs to vehicle number 56 in the estimated amount of $1,089.47, also non-general funds.
Okay, thanks, Pat. D, jobs and family services. Audrey.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Nancy, Audrey. Good morning, Jim. Letter D, Job and Family Service Amendment number 3 with YMCA of Youngstown for Youth Development Program and the amount of $200,000 non-general.
Okay, thank you. E and F, lead. Phil.
Morning, Commissioners. E is an agreement with American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control and healthy homes work, 310 Nelson, in the amount of $30,425 non-general. And F is an agreement with American Pinnacle Construction as well for lead hazard control work at 2430 Logan, in the amount of $48,575, also non-general. And both of these are in conjunction with the City of Youngstown Community Development Block Grant Funds.
Okay, thank you. And G, recycling.
Morning, Commissioners. Item G is drop-off recycling lease agreements with these 3 respective communities to host recycling for their communities.
Okay, thank you. And H, sanitary. Pat.
Commissioners, letter H is an agreement with AM Door and Supply for replacement of several doors at the Boardman and Meander wastewater treatment plants in the amount of $39,065. These are non-general funds.
Okay, thank you. And number 2, agreements A through H. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve agreements. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler. Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number 3, change orders, EMA, OMB grants. Anna.
Commissioners, this is a change order number 2 with B&J Electric Poland for the extension of siren maintenance services until September 30th, 2022, and no change in the amount of $50,000, non-general.
Okay, thank you. And B and C, lead.
He is in a change order with American Pinnacle Construction for 1302 Matthews Road for lead hazard control work in the amount of $625. And C is also with American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control work at 537 Redondo in the amount of $750, both non-general.
Okay, thank you. Number 3, change orders A through C. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve change orders.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number 4, road closings A, engineers, Pat?
Commissioners, letter A is to close Lipke Road between New Road and Kirk Road beginning September 19th for approximately 30 days. This is to complete a bridge replacement, and this is in Jackson Township.
Okay, thank you. Number 4, road closings A. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve road closings. Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number 1, resolutions additions. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve resolutions additions. Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number 2, resolutions, OMB. Is that Anna?
Yeah, I'm gonna let
Anna,
Anna
do you
handle
wanna
those
take-
and introduce those that are here.
Yep.
Thank you, Commissioners. This is a resolution to approve the agreements and expenditures with the following to assist with COVID-19 public health and funded by the American Rescue Plan in the following amounts: Ultimate Care Group, $148,500, and the Community Improvement Corp. for $250,000. Today, we have Joe Shiroki, the Executive Director of Ultimate Care Group. Would you like to say a few words, Joe? Thanks.
Joe, why don't you come up?
So thank you. I want to say first, I think the commissioners know how grateful that the staff and board are from Multi-Care Group for their support. But I think it's important for the community to know it as well, that, you know, ever since the pandemic began, the demand for services for children's mental health has increased astronomically. We've had a waiting list longer than we've ever had for the past 2 years. And we're constantly looking for new and innovative ways to serve the kids. And we're lucky that we have the trustees in place that we have now, the commissioners, who are so focused and committed, I think, to the mental health of children. And you can see it at the campus of care. You can see it through the expansion that we're adding with the support of these funds through our Belmont Avenue office. And if not for that support, I think that, I know we would not be able to offer the array of services that we're offering to kids. So this funding that we're so gracious for from the county commissioners will be a 2,500 to 2,600 square foot addition to our office right up the hill on Belmont Avenue. And it will create a large social recreation activity room for us to do therapeutic groups with youth, and also 2 smaller group therapy rooms, none of which exist in that facility right now. So we're very grateful. Thank you for the opportunity to complete that addition, and excited to have you come out when it's done.
I can't wait. So we have a little presentation for you that we'll do now, if my colleagues are okay with that. You all right? Yeah.
We kept,
Wait,
we
Joe,
we quit passing out phony diamonds. Now we're giving big phony checks. Don't try to cash that.
This is, want to present this check to you for that project. And I'm excited to see the project on Belmont because you're near the university and you have a big football field there that I'm sure you're going to be allowed to use, from what I understand. So this is going to be a wraparound for you as well, Joe. So God bless you and keep up the good work because there's not a shortage of need.
That's true.
For mental health providers for our young people. It's just, today we live in a whole different society. We have too many phones, we have too much of the internet stuff, and we're not really getting to the basics. So with your help and others in that field to help, we're going to move ahead in Mahoning County. So,
Well, on behalf of the board and staff, thank you. We're very grateful.
oh,
Appreciate
I'm happy about it. Can't wait to see it.
it. Thank you.
Joe, will you cover this way?
Hey, lift that side up a little bit, so it's even.
Then it covers.
Now you gotta go down.
Drop that side
There we
down.
go. Perfect.
Construction guys, you gotta have it level and plumb and all the other stuff, you know.
You
Get the measuring stick out. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. You can have the check.
Appreciate it.
And commissioners, we also have Marty Loney here today, who's assigned me to speak on his behalf.
Get out.
No, really?
The $250,000 community improvement court money is dedication by the Mahoning County Commissioners to fund the Lowville Riverfront Park. That was part of a big canoe trip partnership with Eastgate that happened on the 13th. So that'll make, again, outdoor recreational area.
And I have to say, it's absolutely beautiful. We were there yesterday or the day before, yesterday. I don't know, everything's running together. But I mean, that whole area to redevelop from Struthers all the way down the river. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, from the last time we looked at Lowville till the other day, I could not believe the improvements. And I mean, you guys see that, I mean, what a place for it. It's just beautiful. And Marty, if you can remember, there was a young fellow that was on a bike. And he parked his bike and come over and got a water. And I said, oh, where are you gonna go? He goes, oh, I'm parking my car here, get my bike, and we go all the way to Newcastle. I mean, unbelievable what Mahoning County is doing. These trails.
Too bad they can't finish the bike path so we could go from lake to river like it was planned for, huh?
Well, I mean, these trails are what we need, whether it be walking trails, biking trails. This is what we need to bring everybody back to where we should be with nature. Let's go out and breathe the fresh air and get away from the iron. I call it the still phone, and move away from that and get our kids out. So your project over on Belmont's going to be fabulous. And all these projects from the lake to river, I think there's so much more to come. And there's so much to do in Mahoning County now. If anybody says, and you guys know that, if anybody says, there's nothing to do here, are you kidding? Take a ride around Mahoning County. There's projects and events every day. So good luck with that.
You know,
Anthony,
and
Dave?
Carol's so right with the fact that, you know, we were all down there for the ceremony. And you have to hand it to, you know, the communities
And the
that are
mayors.
working hard, the mayors, correct? To make this happen. If it wasn't for the dam removal, the dam removals was what was the instrumentation in allowing the kayaking because of the way the water was being dammed up. And they just keep continuing to move those obstructions out of the river, and it's now more free flow. There's more fish coming back. You see something happening. The Ohio EPA was very happy to see what's going on down there. Of course, they would be the Army Corps of Engineers and a lot of people down along that river. So it's been revitalized, and there's going to be even more because they're going to put a pavilion down there next to the kayaking launch, and then they're going to have another park, a scenic park that overlooks the river. And I think that's unbelievable.
Oh,
It's
you're gonna
really
have-
nice.
I mean, it's great.
Yes.
Well,
Dave?
I wish that the reason the dams were there, we still had. you
Oh, I
know,
do
and-
too.
But,
Yes.
you know, because
mills.
obviously they were all put in to cool the mills all along the river. And they're making steel production. You know, in the mid-70s, when I worked at Youngstown Sheet and Tube, it was vital, you know, for our survival in the mills. And, you know, I tell everybody that, you know, in the 70s, we had more than 4 integrated mills just in Youngstown, Ohio. And now there's only 3 in the entire United States. You know, so it's sad where we've come. But, you know, just like everything evolves, whether it's, you know, 3D printing, you know, and going from steel to technology, or whether it's going from steel production to recreation along the river, you know, to change how we look at things and how we move forward. You know, it's definitely necessary. Just like them resolving the issue of opening the bike path. You know, the bike path was supposed to be lake to river, you know, 30 years ago. You know, when I helped promote the bike path's initial construction, because I was the only elected official from Austintown, the only elected official that lived on the bike path. And what a great addition to our valley it's been, you know, and to stop the progress there and to keep millions of people to ride that bike path from being able to go through is just a sin. So, I mean, all of this plays hand in hand, you know, and being down, Anthony and Carol and I were, we were elated to be able to get down. Fortunately, none of us got in a kayak, because trust me, I don't want to say any names, but there was a mayor from Mahoning County who wasn't in a kayak for more than 3 minutes and she was upside down. Oh, did I say she? I'm sorry. It was upside down. It was upside down, but we love her. We love her. It wasn't Carol. It was
No,
the
it
mayor.
wasn't me,
It
but
was
I
the
was
mayor.
supposed to go down there. Thank God I had something else, another meeting.
We're gonna go down on a canoe.
Well,
That's what we're gonna do.
all I know is
I'm not getting in a kayak.
I probably would have been upside down because
Oh
I've
my
never been in a
God.
kayak.
No way.
But Stacy, from
Stacy's
Louisville,
good.
she had never been in a kayak either, and she
Well, she's-
loaded it all the way down. And she's a police officer.
Wait
so
a minute,
she's-
we could get the paddle boats from Mill Creek Park.
There you go.
Broadside of
That's
Mill
more
Creek.
our-
those.
that's
We'll
more our
paddle boat
speed.
all the way.
That's more our
Those are
speed.
so
Oh,
cool.
my God.
Oh, well, anyway, thank you everyone for everything. I appreciate it. And B, Anna, do you want to?
Sure. Commissioners, this is a resolution approving the agreements and addendum of expenditures with the following to assist with COVID-19 public health and funded by the Emergency Rental Assistance Plan in the following amounts. We have MyCap for $1 million. That'll be from a second tranche that we received for emergency rental assistance. We're also distributing an additional $139,100 in a fourth addendum to MyCap to clear up any funding that we have available through the Emergency Rental Assistance Tranche 1. And in the Emergency Rental Assistance Tranche number 2, we're also going to provide $500,000 to Catholic Charities. We have Sheila Triplett here today. If you'd like to say a few words about the program. Sure. Thank you.
First, I want to thank the commissioners for continuing to support MyCap in our efforts to provide assistance to the many individuals in Mahoning County who are still suffering because of COVID. Lots of times you hear now, well, why are they still helping people with rent, 2 years later? But you have a lot of individuals and families who suffered significant hardships during COVID. Yeah, they're getting themselves together, they're getting on their feet, they're working, they're doing all the right things, but they had 2 years of not being able to catch up on their bills and pay their rent, and pay their utilities. And the assistance that we get from the commissioners and we get some federal dollars, on average over the last 15 months, we've been spending almost $1 million a month on rental, mortgage, and utility assistance. And we are seeing like 39% of the individuals that are getting assistance from us have never come to MyCap before.
Exactly.
They've never needed assistance. They've always been able to pay their bills and do the things that they need to do to support their family. So that just kind of demonstrates the need that's out there. And again, thank you so much for seeing that and continuing to support us. And we're going to continue to work with those individuals and families and make sure that they have what they need to be self-sufficient and to support their families.
And Sheila,
Thank you, Sheila.
we also want to thank you for that because that's from Youngstown straight through Sebring. And I sent you a family from there and they received help. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I mean, this is all over the spectrum in Mahoning County. This pandemic, I don't know. Hopefully, we're moving away from it, but we'll see.
C, OMB.
I'm still
That's-
Anna on the.
Anna,
okay. This resolution, commissioners, is to approve a second addendum with Fifth Technologies, Inc. to increase funding for an add-on to services for redaction services in the amount of $11,400 for a system that will make the recorder's office totally scanned. All documents will then be available online. And this redaction piece was required to allow it to be used by the public. So thank you. And this was also an American Rescue Plan project.
thank you, Anna. I must say our staff worked very hard on these projects from our, thank you all.
Yes.
Anna, Audrey, prosecutor's office.
D.
D.
D is a resolution approving the second addendum with Youngstown Women's Christian Association of the Mahoning Valley to extend the term until September 30th, 2022, and modify the household assistance and administrative fees at no additional amount. And this is also emergency rental assistance one money that when we had first initiated it, we weren't sure the exact deadline. So this allows them to go through the end of the month and assisting their focus group of women that are pregnant and try to assist in the overall infant mortality and getting these women stabilized and housed. So that was another project similar to housing that we're doing with My Catholic Charities, but a more specialized group.
Then E would be me.
And that's Audrey.
No, I just want to say first, before I get to E, Anna, Jody, prosecutor's office and stuff have really worked hard to bring all of this through, make sure we're staying within the guidelines and making sure we're, as people are submitting lots of, the different requests and stuff, they're filtering it down through for the commissioners, for myself to review and everything. And I do appreciate all of their hard work. I appreciate the hard work of our partners, Sheila and Joe and the Port Authority, that help us be able to reach the people that need to be reached for the services. And they have worked so hard with the commissioners to make sure that we're reaching the people we should be with these dollars. And I think that everyone has done a good job of getting that out there. So I do appreciate everything. Item E is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the commission, which is Budget Commission, and authorize the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. This is for 2023 certification.
Thank you. F, facilities, Alan?
Morning, Commissioners. This is a resolution approving the moral obligation payment of $8,130 to Diversified Comfort Services for emergency replacement of an air conditioning unit and furnace at the Mahoning County Engineer's Office.
Okay, thank you. G, Jobs and Family Services.
Good morning. Good morning again. Letter G, Job and Family Service Resolution approving the unpaid leave of absence for one employee of our department.
Okay, H, lead.
It's a change order that was in excess of 10% of the original contract for some unforeseen but serious structural deficiencies caused by a leak in the sanitary lateral. The amount of $16,249.50 for 87.5 Madison Avenue.
Thank you. I and J, sanitary, Pat.
Commissioners, letter I is a resolution approving the 2023 bond form for excavators, contractors, developers, and interested parties wanting to perform work connecting to laterals to the Mahoning County sanitary sewer system. And letter J is a resolution to amend the previous resolution 22-02-028 to rescind the purchase of a Chevy Silverado from Valley Chevrolet in the estimated amount of $41,178. This is due to a shortage of vehicles.
Thank you. Number 2, resolutions A through J. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to pass resolutions A through J.
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante,
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler,
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Well, that concludes our business portion of the meeting. Do we have any electeds that are up on, that have anything they might want to add? Okay. Anthony and Day, do you have anything? Anthony?
No, I just wanted to say that we certainly enjoyed the riverfront the other day in Lowville. There's a lot of events that happen over the weekend. Of course, Austin Town 911, that's always a 9/11 somber event. It brings back those painful memories that 3,000 people woke up that morning, go to work, and they lost their lives. So, it's always something that gets you when this day comes, and it's every year Austin Town does a beautiful ceremony at their park. And then, of course, Back the Blue was over the weekend. Christine Oliver sponsored an event to honor our police officers for what they do for our community. So it was nice to take part in those events over the weekend. So it was pretty busy. That's it.
Very busy, I must add.
Yeah, I was playing catch up too, spending a week in Florida,
Oh,
and then come back. I got tops of my feet sunburned. How does that happen? Top of my, well, I didn't put any of the sunscreen on my head, but I'm beginning to believe that I need to start, so. But anyway, when you get away for a week, it's always nice. When you come back, it's like time stopped and then, everything accumulated, and you're digging out, but it's nice to come back and have the opportunity to see, Joe from Malta and Sheila from my cap and the work that they do, and what's so disheartening is all of the things that are happening is so politicized during this time of year. And you see all of these false and misleading ads that say, that they're creating inflation and spending your tax dollars, and they're, wasting your money, and then they pick a project that was, funded in the state of, Arizona or something. They gave money to somebody to do something, and they twist it all around and make it look like your tax dollars are being, washed down the drain. When in fact that, this funding coming through, it's just where your priorities are as a country, as a Congress. Where's your priorities? Do you want to help people? Do you want to help businesses? Do you want to help small businesses? Do you want to help educate our future children? Or do you want to put money into corporate America? People oppose them paying a 15%, minimum tax. I mean, wouldn't we all love to just pay 15% on our taxes? I mean, well, I'll sign up for that every day of the week, charge everybody in the world 15% and get rid of all the tax attorneys. I don't know, just, make it across the board, but instead, what do? We throw stones at it when this money comes in, and without it, we're not helping kids. We're not helping people. We're not helping rent and food. We got a call from Mike Iberis at Second Harvest Food Bank. He needs $500,000 tomorrow to feed people that are in need in the valley. So we lose sight of the fact that the money that was expended through the ARPA funds are helping real people that we interact with every day. And Sheila said, 39% of them first time need assistance, first time. Everybody, we have a lot of working poor. I can't tell you how many friends I have that, that have one job, two jobs, people that are trying to make ends meet, communities trying to make ends meet. I'm sure Trustee Santos could talk to you about Austintown. I was told $1 million plugs the gap each year for 3 years of the ARPA funds. Desperately needed, helping communities. Money is not being wasted. Money is trying to keep people alive, keep them functioning, look for opportunities, sanitary sewer expansions, open up economic development, a lot of great things that are going on. And, I think that sometimes I just, turn everything off and try and block out the noise that you hear outside and only react to the things that we interact with and we deal with that are real life, not twisted, political ads that try to make everybody else look good. I personally, I favor it. You should be forced to only talk about yourself. Don't talk about anybody else. If I'm running for office, all I'm going to talk about is my ability and what I can do. I'm not going to talk about what the other guy did or didn't do. Just talk about what you can do to make life better for the people that you serve and the residents that you represent. So, people like, Joe and Sheila, they're doing an amazing job, our staff, and I won't single people out, but everybody is working so hard. And, just like Carol and Anthony said, whether it's 911, whether it's Back to Blue, or whether it's going down to the river, all of these projects are great because people are involved. They care and they want to help, so get involved, help a local, social organization, get involved, help people. and that's really what, we're all about, what we hope to do. So I'm proud
Thank
to sit with you two.
Oh, we're
It's all
proud to sit
good.
with you.
And, we're moving in the right direction and it's all
Well,
a good thing.
well,
Say, I didn't get any oranges before.
one thing I could say is we help people with our money and projects and economic development. So when you hear the rumor mills, this and that they don't know what they're doing, we help people. I gotta say, Mahoning County, from what I've heard from the CCAO, is probably in the top 2 counties in the state of Ohio. So I'm proud of that.
And now, we're funding Appalachia, opening
Right.
a bunch of grants up,
Right.
and the state's doing it. And where's the state getting the money for the Appalachia grants that they're giving $50 million to through ARP that they all opposed? So now they've got the funds and they're gonna pass it out to Appalachia. So we're happy because we're in that category and we potentially will get some
Right.
additional funds to help
Exactly.
the river.
Anytime we can get a couple bucks.
I wanted to just say and just piggyback on what Dave was saying so that people understand. These funds were critical to the county. These are not things that the commissioners are helping with businesses, MyCap and all that you normally can do. That is not funding that we
Can't
have
do
the
any of
ability to
this.
meet these needs of people. And without those funds, commissioners' hands would be tied. The Ohio Revised Code dictates what they can do in certain areas. They can use jobs and family services for different things like that, but their budget was already right there. So basically, all the things that they can do and that they have done with economic development and all of that is because of the ARPA funds.
And we follow the law completely.
Yes.
Let
Well,
me
we
tell
don't
you.
even see a project unless it's been filtered
Right.
to the
the
prosecutor.
pros-
Everything's turned straight into the
Right.
prosecutor. And then if it meets the
then we
criteria,
get
it
it.
comes through.
You had your hand up for a while.
Um,
I don't know who you are. Do you want to state your name?
yes, my name is Chris Williamson. I'm a resident boardman. As of recently with the flooding, it was brought to my attention that it's been going on for a while. I'm a disabled vet. I moved to Boardman a couple years ago, where I bought my house, it's my VA. I did not know, even though I'm from East Kent, which is about an hour and 10 minutes from here. I did not know about the flooding that had been occurred for decades here. And so I live off of Glenwood, off of 224 towards Shields. And so we had backup through our sewer, which when I went to the meeting on Monday and Tuesday, there was a lot of questions, a lot of angry people, as if most of you probably had seen on the news. And there was a lot of unanswered questions about how the county was going to be helping, and there was a lot of finger pointing.
Oh,
And
that's
so
normal.
right. And so the problem is that you have businesses that got shut down, you have homes that have lost up to thousands of dollars. You have homeowners that have done everything in their power that was told to them to be doing, but things just aren't improving. As far as I can tell, and from all the leadership from the trustees and the ABC watershed storm district that was created, there's not a whole lot of plans in place that's going to be strategically done. They either don't have the funds, or there's a lot of lost capital. There's funding issues, all kinds of different stuff. And so several of us have contacted several of the other elected officials in the area, and we got a little bit of pushback. So the issue is trying to get people not to be completely flooded out of their homes. People are really irritated, especially since I guess 2018 was a 100-year flood, and then 2019 was another 100-year flood, and now we just had this last one. I'm part of the Youngstown Water and Sewer, and I got a backup. I'm not part of the Boardman sewer area. So the question is, what can the county do, or what is the county willing to do to help people of Boardman not lose their house? Because you have a lot of people that are severely frustrated at the point where they've been through this over and over and over and lost thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars.
You know what, if you'd like to speak to us after, we did give Boardman money. We gave him $1 million for the forest lawn project.
Right,
Right.
it's a lot more than just the $1 million.
Well, what I'm
Right.
saying is we started, but we could talk to you about that after, and Pat's on. So if he stays on the line, maybe we could address some of those, because sometimes you're not getting the right information when you go to some of these meetings because it's like a pass the buck deal.
It was
I mean,
5
and I
different
hate to
websites
say
had to go
that,
to find
but-
information.
So if you'd like to stay after for a few minutes, we'll have it, we could talk to you about it.
That's great.
Okay, thank you. At this time, if seeing no other comments, we will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes.